So I came from a late night walk, and I was entering through the door. Just before I stumbled across insight, a realization that's actually really, really, really powerful. And I think I'm gonna stay with it, and I wanted to capture it in any way possible. And so here it is. For somebody with such a kind of multiple identity, not in any pathological sense, but in a more explorative sense, being in different worlds, in different environments, going to um, being able to move between different cultures, mostly subcultures, let's say, in the institutional realm, in the non-institutional realm, in the academia, in industry. Oh, that's nice. I have a bell. I have a bell that is ringing every 20 minutes. I discovered that's probably the best time management I have. It's just ringing all the time every 20 minutes. And I don't know if it works, we'll see. But here's the thing. Back to the point. For the kind of people that I am and other people are dealing with this issue of this multiplicity, this plurality, this being okay with a kind of self that is more fluid, that is more open-ended, that cannot be comfortable with being defined in a way that is decisive and closed. Oh, I'm a PhD student. Oh, I work in the humanities. Oh, I'm a musician. I do experimental whatever shit. Doesn't matter. You can decide to make this your identity and present yourself in others, but that's the interface. And we can tend to over identify with the interface. So we have characters and we play the character, the role. And here's the thing. Well, there's many of these characters and many of these roles, it can be hard because you're like, who's the main guy? I mean, it's the one that you spend most time into, but then what about the rest? And so you're in this mode where you're like, shouldn't there be a main character? Isn't there something deeper? Like another? Like, should I just go through the layers and find the real me? The real me. You know, the authentic self. I'm done with that shit. I'm done. I'm done with this kind of like violence of thought that is being imposed to people like us. So, I got a better proposal. You're not a main character, you are a world. You're not doing character development in your own life story, you're doing world building. And there can be multiple characters at the same time playing in the story, and it's more fun and it's more that has more depth, and you can actually do the thing that we're trying to do. That is the main problem now, that there's a lot of plurality, there's a lot of difference, there's a lot of diversity, and it's not being able to, the system is not able to digest it, to metabolize it, and we have like all these kind of problems that deal with what to do with such a plural world, how to integrate that. Here's the thing. A world building is the container for plurality to coexist. So it's not about building characters, it's about building worlds. And open-ended worlds. Worlds that you can play with and I can play with them too. I can enter and you can enter. That's the kind of world building we're on. Not the kind of I'm gonna create a map. I'm gonna create a kind of like a map on Half-Life Gmod, or create a or Counter-Strike. I'm gonna create like this enclosed thing, this world, this kind of world building. It's more like creating an extended universe where new stories, new characters can fit in. And this is you. And this can be you. You can be a world. You don't have to be a player or the one player. I mean, you can have the perspective. You will have a perspective. You will need a perspective. Even if you're doing world building, well, it makes not much sense in this storytelling mode if you do not have narration. You need narration, of course, and you need the perspective of narration. You need the observant, the observer of the world and the plurality. But look at fiction. You can usually see, like, there's fiction that you can write from a completely first person perspective, but there's always an aspect of the third. And this kind of third, this kind of observer mode that is describing the situation is mixed with the main character. And you can also have like multiple characters going on at the same time and see the perspective. So an actual story doesn't even work in the way that we try to imagine our own self story in life. And so this makes not much sense. You're trapped if you're just only in the perspective of the one player. So the thing is about both building the world, making it open, making it consistent. I mean, and you can make it consistent not necessarily by enclosing it, but by letting the characters play and then connecting the dots. I think this makes much more sense. And it's a much better story anyway. But you also have to work, instead of the main character, you work on the perspective of narration. And that's you. If we want to talk about this phenomenological self, the kind of seeing the world, oh, I have hands and I'm touching stuff and I'm going and like I'm going through my everyday life. I'm going through objects. I have the first person perspective. Consciousness, essentially. That's observation. And it's better if it is non-human, I'd say. This sounds a little bit pretentious, but actually it's quite true. Where the fuck is the observer of a story? Is this kind of soul that is on God mode and is going here and there? This kind of thing, it's not really enclosed in a human body. Well, you have your body, you have your hands, you have your limbs, but you also have the ability to decouple from immediacy and enter into a mode where you can see things from a level is a little bit above, so it's better to work on this, I guess. So be a world builder of your own world, which is you. That's my message to the world, I guess. I found it. The eureka moment. It just happened a few minutes ago while I was walking in the rain. That happens. So, peace out.